The smell of Mark Zuckerberg is lingering once again, just in time for the inevitable loop we all call time. 2024 is coming to a close, and VR has changed dramatically in the last few years. We're talking new headset launches, new games, and a ton of genre-defining moments that have happened this year alone. So when Meta reached out and wanted to sponsor this video, I thought I'd take the opportunity to look forward to this wacky little thing we call virtual reality and what the year of Nuketown brings onto this subgenre of tech and gaming. We'll be discussing 3 games that I am personally looking forward to releasing, as well as a runner-up because of a certain game that I feel we're talking about as I work for the studio behind it. Can you guess it? It's Grim. We're talking about Grim. Shout out a 9-to-5 job. Again, this video is sponsored by Meta, so we'll be discussing games that are going to be available for the Quest as well as other platforms that the cologne of Mark Zuckerberg has not had the fortune of gracing. Next up, I get canned.
The danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot. You think that of me?
I have successfully escaped the metaverse with my mortal flesh body still intact. This is my last hope to bring peace to the femboys still locked in their headsets. My only hope is that they've joined Viewie's Hot Gamer Club as to talk to myself and other gamers alike. Woe is me for the ones who paid $5 a month for exclusive chat permissions and gaming events that are set always to happen no matter the time of week and happen all the time. Love you, my mega rich patrons, for I am Viewie, and which I say is true or something. First game first is a game I technically work for. Look, don't cook me just yet. I promise I wasn't told to talk about it. This is a proper disclaimer. I am a paid employee of Combat Waffle Studios, the publisher of Grim VR, developed by Spoonfed Interactive. I wasn't asked to talk about Grim, and I will be giving my own opinions as a content creator, not as an employee of Combat Waffle Studios. With that being said, let's start this video, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a 5-star rating, and super thanks to pay my rent this month. Grim VR is basically just Rust in VR, so if you're Gary Newman, this is a home run for you. Grim has a lot of survival mechanics you'll find in most VR survival games at this point. You've got the food, the water, the screaming little kids who try to kill you with the rock when you start out, you know, the work. The main aesthetic is that you're an astronaut on the desert of Mars, with only the biodomes to resemble any part of Earth. These areas are where you're most likely to survive the harsh conditions of the Mars surface, with the food, materials, and wildlife you'll need to survive. However, these areas cannot be built in, as they're the common ground for all players who are looking to succeed with winning their first victory royale or something. Grim is like that one friend who's a really good dude when he's around, but the second you're not around him anymore, now all of a sudden you have a rumor that you jerked off in class, and now the principal is calling your mother what her wonderful little baby boy did or some surely it's a misunderstanding, and now the chancla is coming for your dome. Grim is much more involved than any other VR survival games, as you'll not only need to ensure your safety online, but offline as well. How you succeed in Grim is entirely defined by how you operate as a player, because one small mistake or you're accidentally logging off before getting back to base is the difference between keeping all your gear or NFL spiking your headset into the ground. If you're interested in that Rust-like experience, but in VR, then Grim VR releases this winter on Quest. Not next winter, but this current winter, as in the winter we are in now. You're hearing me right? The winter that started in 2024, as Alaska said on Twitter, it's this winter, not next winter, like in 2025, but 2024. We are not out of this winter. I hope you heard me correctly. It's this winter. Grimlord is not Grim. They are 2 separate games. Love you, Grandpa. See you after school. But Viewie, Grimlord is already released. How is this going to affect LeBron's legacy? Yes, Grimlord is already available for purchase on Quest and other platforms. However, it released so late into 2024 that I figured, why not? I'm still talking about it in this video. Grimlord is like if you took Blade and Sorcery and genetically mutated Dark Souls into it. This is some Johnny Test looking motherfucker right here. If you're a big fan of learning boss fights and spiking your headset, I'll stop using that joke now, then you'll absolutely love Grimlord. It's pretty normal to see well-made sword physics and cool casting spells, but where Grimlord really shines are these barbaric looking bosses that ultimately leave my pants browner than khakis whenever I'm fighting them. Call me Dana White because I'm about to get my rocked. Grimlord is one of the few VR games with a storyline, not something found in, bro, I don't want to play tag with you anymore. Can we please play something different at this point? And the playstyles are crazy between different players. Like games like Blade and Sorcery, how you play Grimlord is entirely dependent on what fits you best. If you're a classic sword and shield kind of guy, a spells kind of guy, or just running away like I do, you'll always have a playstyle while in Grimlord. Again, Grimlord is already available as of releasing this video. You can find it for purchase on the Quest Store and other platforms. An affiliate link is down in the description if you're interested in checking it out.
You got me.
So you know Super Hot, right? Everyone knows Super Hot. It's great. We all love Super Hot, where time only moves when you do, as in Super Hot, the game. I first played in VR, but never finished. Moving along. Take Super Hot VR, take the move if you move mechanic, and spike that into the ground too. We're talking you have to keep moving in this motherfucker. It's nerf or nothing. If you slow down at all, it is life or death. Sonic Racers in this bitch. Cold VR is a game that I've had the honor of voice acting a trailer for that is currently sitting on the IGN VR channel as we speak. I've been in contact with its solo developer, Carlos Alfonso, for a good amount of time now, and I've had the pleasure of playing Cold VR early, and it's some of the most fun I've had playing VR in recent memory. Having to constantly be moving is an entirely different feeling from Super Hot because you can't really take the time to line up shots or try to strategize a play. It's on the spot or it's not at all. Trying to go from enemy to enemy while also dodging their gunfire while trying to line up your own gunfire doesn't look that hard from the footage I've shown here. From the builds I've played, I have always had to redo a level multiple times because as I clear the playing field, there's also Agent 47 sitting in the back ready to strike. It's almost the same frustration you get from Super Hot, but the opposite, because in Super Hot, it's hard to do much because you're trying to move as little as possible to complete the mission. But in Cold VR, you're constantly trying to dodge enemy gunfire while lining up your shots. So both games are the yin and yang of, again, spiking your headset into the ground. Tom Brady is my father. Cold VR is coming to MetaQuest and other platforms early 2025, and it's looking to be a promising VR title that I can't wait to see people get into. Very proud of Carlos for how far his game has come along, and I can't wait to see what he's able to achieve next. If you're interested in running around at Sonic levels of speed while having the blicky to escape all-wear OS, then Cold VR is a game for you. I'll leave an affiliate link to the Quest page in the description to Cold VR, as well as other games I've talked about in this video. VR gaming has come a long way over the last few years, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for new titles. Things may not always be going as smoothly as traditional gaming, but regardless, there is always Gorilla Tag. Thank you to our Mega Rich patrons, Funnel55, Retro, and Wes. How are you feeling about VR this year? I personally can't wait for some of these new releases, even games that I didn't mention in this video. Like the honorable mention I said I was going to mention, and now that I'm reading the script, I didn't fucking write that part. My bad. My headset is about to track so much of my bedroom, it's going to be insane. Tell your grandma she has nice cooking.